Welcome back. So now let's talk about the index. The index is really what I would consider the backbone of a bullet journal. So it is the way that you never lose a thing. And as entrepreneurs, that's a big deal. The reason that I was suggesting that you must have a notebook with numbered pages or number your pages yourself is so that you can use the index. And the index can be very simple. In fact, it should be. As you've probably gathered by now, bullet journaling is very up to you and needs to be as simple as possible in order to work for you. So if it's going to be really complicated, then you're not going to keep it up. And the system has to be at a glance, just simple, easy to read, easy to find, etc. So let's take a look at my index. Okay, so as you can see, we're getting into the brand new bullet journal here. And the front page is actually blank. So before I get into the index, I'm going to get out some of my fun little colors and pens and just put my name on the front page because why not? Now next, you're going to see a key. The key should go in the front of your bullet journal, and it's up to you if you are going to create your own or use the traditional symbols that come with the bullet journal. So a key should include the task symbol, a completed symbol, the delegated or migrated symbols, so you can see the little arrows going back and forth, a slash through, which means this is no longer relevant or needed, event symbols, note symbols, etc. Now I use a few extra symbols, so what you can see me doing here is actually migrating, and migration is an important word, migrating from my old bullet journal a couple other symbols that are part of the key. So the one I just created is for an appointment. And now I'm doing one that is a halfway mark, and so that means I'm waiting for something. So you can see that full X means this is done, but the half mark means I'm waiting for something. So I took action, but I need somebody to reply to me or do something else before it is totally complete. I draw a little man. I like to keep track of new people I meet. And quote symbols, because I like to jot down quotes and keep track of quotations from reading or movies or anything like that. So the key can be anything that you want it to be. It's really up to you what you want to track. But I definitely suggest the task symbols, the migration symbols, and the completion symbols or crossing out. So really those first standard ones that you can see on this page. If you don't have the standard bullet journal, if you just bought a notebook that you yourself are going to be using, then as you create your key, I really suggest at least those first ones. Now what I'm doing currently is just making my key a little bit more permanent. Since the key is so critical to migrating and navigating throughout your bullet journal, I just go ahead and complete them in pen, even though the rest of my bullet journal will be kept in pencil. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish this up here, and then we will move forward. Okay, finally, we come to the index. Now, as you can see in this bullet journal, since I'm using one of the standard bullet journals, the index comes already completed a little bit. Now, the green bullet journal that you see is totally filled out already. Actually has an index as well, but it only has one spread or two open pages. And you're going to need 2 spreads or 4 pages. So as you can see, I created a second spread in my original or my old bullet journal. But in the new one, in the pink one, since it's a standard bullet journal, I already have 2 spreads. It comes with 2 spreads already created for me. So really all I need to do is migrate the topics that I'm going to be tracking, and then my index will be prepared. Now, I really do mean whenever you put something into your bullet journal, it needs to be indexed, otherwise you'll lose it. So if you can't remember to do this every day, that's okay. Make sure that you do it at least once a week. I sometimes will use my bullet journal for a few days before I realize that I haven't done that yet. So as you can see, there's only a couple other sections that are filled out and then the rest is blank. So I'm really not that far ahead of you if you don't have a standard bullet journal. So I'm going to go ahead and migrate some of the topic areas that I keep track of, that I personally choose to keep track of in my bullet journal. And that includes the page with the key on it, the page with the future log. Actually, I do write down the index itself, and then the most important spreads or 2-page sets, which are the monthly log, the weekly log, and the daily log. And you'll be using those yourself. As you can see, I just put down the topic and page number and then was really still for a minute. I was actually really wondering if I had frozen. And so topic and page number, just that just helps, again, to stay a little organized. You don't have to do that. It's really whatever will make it really easy for you to use your index. And so, I just add this in because it makes it easy. So here I go. I'm going to just go ahead and continue setting this up. Apparently I didn't like how I wrote that, so let's fast forward and I'll fill in my index just with some of the subjects that I know I'm going to be keeping track of. Okay, so next we're going to talk about the future log. So I love the future log because this is how you get to delegate to your future self, but it doesn't work unless you also have the index working for you. They kind of go hand in hand. So let's take a look at the future log.